Come meal prep with me. Yes, what to expect. Seafood fried rice, seafood fried potatoes, interesting, chicken stir fry, ginger chicken tofu, and cottage pie. Lunch proteins, prawns and salmon pieces, ground chicken. Lunch veggies, roasted zucchinis, roasted eggplant, and roasted pumpkin. Welcome back everyone to this week's meal prep edition. We are on week 9 for meal prep and we are going strong. I trust and hope that these meal prep videos and sessions inspire you each week to at least try. For this week, our first dish is going to be fried rice, seafood fried rice. I'm going to make a rice edition as well as a potato version because I cannot have rice. That's why I need to make a potato version. But the potato version is going to be a bit different from the rice version. But the rice version, that is what you want to see and probably make because that's the most popular and it's very delicious as well. I used to eat it. So let's start. I have 2 pans here and I have my protein. I'm going to make prawns and grouper, which is a type of fish. So for my fish, I will take a tablespoon of olive oil, put the fish in. So we are just going to fry off this fish. For our prawns, as you know, I don't use any oil with my prawns. So the prawns just goes in the pan. And now I'm going to salt and pepper my fish. And you do not need to salt and pepper too much because you're going to use soy sauce with this. Now I'm going to enjoy my cup of tea while this fries off. Alright guys, step 1 in our process is ready or done. We have now fried off our fish and our prawns. That's the first thing you want to do. But on top of that, you do want to have cooked rice, which I've already done. I'm going to transfer this with the prawns because now I will add my 2 cups of cooked rice. And I will just move it to the outside of the pan. And then I will put olive oil in the center, a tablespoon, and a tablespoon of garlic. I'm going to add some green onions. And just let the garlic brown now. So our garlic is nice and brown now. And now we can mix it in with our rice. I'm turning my heat to medium as I add my proteins, add more of the green onions. And then lastly, 2 tablespoons of soy sauce. Then just toss. Beautiful, beautiful. Your seafood fried rice is done. Turn off your oven. I will just now garnish it with the last bit of green onions. And that's how easy it is to make seafood fried rice. You just need to have all your components cooked. And at the end of it, you put it all together. And your dish is done. Next, we're moving on to seafood fried potatoes. I am very anti-oil, so just a 1/4 teaspoon of oil in that pan for me. And a 1/4 teaspoon of garlic. And I'm adding 1 potato, also a cooked potato. And for this, I use parsley. And now we just want that garlic once again to brown. And the potatoes also to brown a bit. Okay, so our potatoes are now nice and brown. I'm going to add the seafood as well as 2 tablespoons of soy sauce with ginger. And that looks beautiful as well. And this is my dish. It's done. So my husband will eat seafood fried rice and I will eat seafood fried potatoes. You got to be very inventive and very, yeah, and creative in the kitchen. So if you cannot eat something, try to make something similar for you that you make for your family. But don't miss out on the fun. Lovely, lovely. Done. So that is now, dish one is now complete. Seafood fried rice, seafood fried potatoes. On to the next one. On to our next dish. Our next dish is ginger chicken tofu. And this dish also have a few components. I've done it in the past, so you've seen it on my channel. I'm doing it again today because it's one of our favorite dishes. So we start with 2 tablespoons of olive oil in the pan to fry off our tofu. Tofu is sliced. So our oil is a bit hot, but we do want to toss our tofu in the oil before we let them just cook. And so you can use extra firm tofu or extra firm. This is firm tofu, that's why it's breaking apart a little. I'm going to cook this on high heat and just monitor it. You just want to sprinkle salt and pepper over there. And now you're just going to fry this off. Watch it while it's frying off. And while our tofu is frying, we also want to fry off our chicken. And the chicken you debone. You have to debone your chicken if you're not going to use chicken breast. So debone your chicken, skin your chicken, and cut it up in bite-sized pieces. You can ask your husband to do that. There's certain jobs that you just have to give to your husband. They're good at skinning things and cutting them up. So don't take it all on you. Ask for help. Then we want to salt and pepper our chicken. Just sprinkle salt and pepper over here because you are going to use fish sauce, which is already salty. So you do not want to put a lot of salt and pepper on your chicken. And this chicken, we are just going to let it fry. I don't use oil, even though I skin it. I just let it fry off. Because the oil from this pan, we're already going to use this oil to complete the dish. Extra firm tofu, much better. I couldn't find it this time, so I took the firm tofu, but I'm not a fan of the firm tofu. It's a bit soft still. I'll fry all these off, and then I come back to put the entire dish together. So our chicken is done. Our tofu is done. I add some ginger to cook with our chicken. And now we're going to add it all together. Then add the rest of the ginger. Gives great flavor. This is a 1/4 cup of fish sauce. So that's a 1/4 cup of fish sauce. Then we add a 1/4 cup of water. And then we want to add our green onions. Just the green parts of your onion. I have a lot here because we really love this. And now we can give it a toss. Don't toss too much, because especially when you have firm tofu and not extra firm tofu, because you don't want your tofu to fall apart. Simmer for 10 minutes and then this dish is also done. Look how beautiful this dish looks. And this you serve with rice, or you can serve it on a bed of pasta or with potatoes. I eat mine with potatoes. So this dish is done. On to the next one. Our next dish is chicken stir fry. We're going to use Chinese cabbage and mushrooms and chicken tenders. That's about it. So for our mushrooms, we're going to need a tablespoon of olive oil. Put our mushrooms in the pan. Toss the mushrooms in the oil. Use a utensil if your oil is hot. And this one you want to saute on high heat. So we do that. Sprinkle a little bit of salt and pepper. Always have your mixture. Next we want to move on to our chicken tenders. We also need a tablespoon of olive oil for this pan. Add our chicken tenders. Spread it out a little bit. Sprinkle your tenders with salt and pepper. And now we're just going to fry both off. Put them all together with our Chinese cabbage. So our mushrooms and our Chinese cabbage are done. I sauteed these. Our chicken is also done. So what I added to the chicken was 2 tablespoons of soy sauce and a teaspoon of grated ginger, just to give it some flavor. And now we can add all these together. Turn off your heat by this time. And so this is your tenders stir fry. Chicken tenders with Chinese cabbage and mushroom. Done and dusted. Another dish done. On to the next one. There's still a next one coming. On to our next dish, which is our last main dish. For this one, we're going to make cottage pie, but my version. So as you know, for cottage pie, we need mashed potatoes. So I'm going to go ahead and do the mashed potatoes. I put water in my mashed potatoes. I don't do milk or anything like that. My potatoes are already cooked, so I can now just mash. So let me do this and come back to you. So mashed potatoes are done, or is done. And so we're moving on to our ground chicken. I'm going to use ground chicken instead of beef. 1 tablespoon of coriander powder and half a tablespoon of cumin powder. Oops. Salt and pepper. You know, I have a mixture here. And now I'm just going to mix these two together. Could have used actually a spoon. Like I said, I'm making my own version of cottage pie here. I have an idea in my head. I'm going to carry that idea out. All right, next I have half a cup of tomatoes here, cooked tomatoes, and half a cup of caramelized onions. So these two I'm also going to mix together. These are all the different components for this dish, guys. And furthermore, do you also need zucchini? So I have roasted zucchinis here. You don't need to use zucchinis. You can use any other veggie, but for me, I prefer zucchinis. And now I'm going to spray my pan with olive oil spray. Oops. Generously. I don't want the stuff to stick. And so now for the bottom, I'm going to add some of this mixture at the bottom. You're really going to need your hands to spread it out. So once you have that, that's good. There you have a base for your bottom. And the reason I'm doing this is going to cook like a piece of meat. That means all the layers in between won't fall apart. This is the idea. I don't like the cottage pie that's falling apart when you dish it out or scoop it out. And so I'm always trying to reinvent how I make a cottage pie. When I scoop a part of it out, it is a whole scoop that you can nicely put on your plate. All right, so we have that. I'm going to have a layer of zucchinis. Then I want a layer of tomatoes and onions. Lovely. And then a layer of mashed potatoes. So we're just layering. There's our layer of mashed potatoes. And then now we just have another layer of the meat. And this time you can use all the meat because your top layer you want it to be mashed potatoes, right? So let's scoop out all the meat and spread it over our mashed potatoes. It doesn't have to be perfect. It doesn't have to be, oops. And now another layer of our zucchinis. Put it all there. And then our final layer of onions and tomatoes. And you just want nice flavor, work flavor into your cottage pie. And our last layer of potatoes. And that is our cottage pie. Now it goes in the oven and we bake it on 375 degrees Fahrenheit for about 25 minutes. Okay. Our final step to our cottage pie before we put it in the oven. Our oven is now hot. I'm going to brush some egg on here. This is just one egg. It's lovely. Brush, brush, brush. And now we're going to put it in the oven and let it bake for 20 to 25 minutes. It should bake quick because all the ingredients are cooked. The only ingredient that needs to be cooked is the ground chicken. And that is our final dish for meal prep concerning our 4 main dishes. Now we're going to go over to our lunch proteins. Lunch veggies, that's done. It's just roasted pumpkin, or not pumpkin, roasted butternut squash, roasted zucchinis, and roasted eggplant. That's already done. That's the staples. It gets done with the potatoes actually. So let's move on to our lunch proteins. All right, guys. Here comes our lunch proteins. For our chicken, ground chicken, we need a tablespoon of olive oil. Put that in there. Tablespoon of coriander powder. And half a tablespoon of cumin powder. Salt and pepper for taste. For our prawns, no oil, just our prawns. Salt and pepper. And our final one is our salmon pieces in the air fryer. And now I'm just going to cook this. This one we're going to dip into taco meat. And continue cooking it on high. Just work those spices into the chicken. And I'll see you when this is done. Hi guys, what a day, what a day. Meal prep is finally coming to an end. What a fantastic meal prep day, delicious meals. I cannot wait to taste my version of cottage pie. And yeah, I hope that you are getting inspired. We are in week 9 now of meal prep. And as you can see, it's really easy to meal prep. You get into it and you stick to it, you stay consistent with it. And that's what life is about, to stay consistent with your routines and what you are doing to get to where you want to be. And slowly but surely, every little bit you do is a bit of progress towards your goals. And so let me know if you have started meal prep, if you have considered it, if you have tried it, how it panned out for you, how you like it. Yeah, is it making your week easier? Anyhow, our week is going to go flawless this week because all our meals are ready and it is easy to put them all together, especially with the lunch proteins. The other dishes are of course ready to be eaten, but no buts, just mwah. Thank you for watching.